What is up, my beautiful people of Facebook land, where we do our weekly Q&A. It's your weekly coaching session for free. That's the whole idea. I coach people into them becoming badasses. We all want more from life. Yes, but then there's baggage that holds us back. So if we can remove the baggage or rebrand the baggage in a positive way, then all of a sudden we can take off and achieve all the big stuff that we want in life. And that's just typically how the human dynamic works. So my goal here is for me to give you guys tools, nuggets that you can take home over the next week and literally change your life, change your family situation, maybe make more money. I don't know what your wants and needs are. So the question is this: when I'm trying to set boundaries with certain people and they just are not getting it, how do I avoid the inevitable throw up of the past coming up? No matter what approach I use, it seems to always wind back in the negative place. So boundaries come from respect. When we get to a place of respecting ourselves, then now we're able to create what's called boundaries. When we don't respect ourselves, and I know exactly what she's talking about here because she's friend and client, so we've worked together a year and a half, maybe more, too. I don't know. Anyway, so I know what she's talking about here. The idea of respecting yourself, knowing yourself, becoming what's called self-aware, like to really know who you are, what makes you tick, what are the emotional triggers and the emotional patterns, why you do what you do, not doing the things that you don't like any longer. This is the process of becoming self-aware. As you become self-aware, then you realize, well, shit, this is who I really am. And this is when somebody does that thing, fine, they're not doing it to me, let's say, unless they're fucking mean. But the goal for us is to understand who we are in order when something happens, in order for that moment for us to realize if that's for us or not. And the boundary concept, literally, if you could just think like castles used to have moats, right? The water around the castle so you couldn't attack. You'd have to, swim first. So it's a layer of protection. So a boundary is also a standard. Like, this is what I expect for me in my life. This is what I will tolerate from now on, and not those other things any longer. So understanding who I am, loving myself, respecting myself, now I set in place these boundaries of protection because I love me first and foremost. So what happens, I'm going to go back to the question because I want to make sure I deliver to the actual question. So when I'm trying to set boundaries, so the first problem here is the word try. When we try to do things, they don't really happen. And here's why. To the brain, the word try means that it's a lie. We're literally lying to ourselves. So when we try to set boundaries, we're really pretending to set boundaries. So yes, I'm clarifying something for you because here's what happens. When you're 100% committed to doing that thing, whatever it is, you're going to fucking do it because you're 100% committed. And the problem is this: a lot of people, like in business, why do so many businesses fail? Why do so many relationships, marriages fail? And I'll tell you why: because they're only 99% committed. They forgot that last piece where it's fucking do or die. So when you're trying to set a boundary, what's going to happen is you're really not in a position where this is fucking it. It's my way or the highway, because we're trying. So the first part of this, I would really start tweaking into, I would really move this into a place of this is it, 100%. This is the boundary. This is the space that I am allowing. And if anybody wants to play in my sandbox, then you got to play by the sandbox rules. And if you don't want to play by the sandbox rules, you cannot come into my sandbox, because it is my sandbox that I created because I love me, I respect me, etc. And when you are not 100% committed to the boundary, and this is the word try, and this look what happens when she's trying to set boundaries. What's coming back to her now is the people around her bringing up the past, the inevitable throw up of the past. So they keep sticking the past in her face. Look, remember this. You used to be that. And this is happening because there's an open door. When there is no open door for ridicule, attack, putting somebody down, bullying, when there's no open door, it cannot happen. So when you're not open for that information, you cannot receive it. So if somebody attempts to spit it out, to give it to you, to bash you in the face with it, you now, because you're already protected, you're already in a space of love. I love me so fucking much that I only expect love, honor, respect back. So if somebody's out there saying, fuck you, you're this, you're that, you're a monster, remember the past, etc., what happens now is you can walk away. The door's just not open. Remember, there's a sandbox now, and the sandbox is safe. And because you're safe in a sandbox, you got to be committed to that sandbox so much that no one and no word and no action from the outside can ever touch you. But as long as you're trying to set boundaries, you're really not setting boundaries. And that's why the attacks keep happening, because there really aren't any boundaries. Hope that answered your question. I'm going to go to Lacey. Again, you guys, as you're here, drop questions here, because my goal is to give you guys as much as I can in this whatever time it is that we spend together. It could be 20 minutes, it could be 50, it could be an hour, whatever. Okay, so have you ever felt like your head was just spinning with information? Yes. So much contradicting info that you felt, well, that if I'm doing this or that, wrong. Do you have any tips on how to calm the mind from that? And then she goes on her frustrations with herself, because I find information, it makes sense. Then weeks later, there's contradicting information. And then she gives me a whole example of what's really happening out there, food, what's good, what's bad, etc. Cool. But it really doesn't matter, because the idea, your true question is how to tell this thing to calm down, how to calm the system, the body, the mind, the subconscious, all the unconscious behavior. Because what's happening right now, Lacey, if you stop to look at yourself for a minute and become self-aware in these moments, what's really happening is unconscious patterns that you've done for many, many years, where this thing just takes over and just starts the chat box, right? I call it the chat box, and it keeps going. And it's like, oh my God, I got to do the dishes, and I forgot this thing. And what if the world ends? And with all that food, this food, the garlic, and it just, it's a memory muscle. And this, and I'll explain to you guys a little bit deeper, because there's a big part of all this that a lot of people, well, most people don't know this because it's not taught to us. The ego is this guy here, the conscious mind, the ego. Its job is to create chaos, pain and chaos. That's its job. It's there to literally fight spirit. And the reason I say fight spirit is because the subconscious mind, which is in the torso, this is the spirit, again, subconscious mind, the computer, the database, the matrix, it's all here, right? So God, all that fun stuff from out there is all in here. So this guy, ego, for example, is also known as the enemy, Satan, whatever, right? We're not going to go religious on this thing, but I want you to understand why this is doing what it's doing. As long as this ego mind is able to keep you so busy, that means you don't have time for God. Because as soon as it takes you away from here, from a peaceful state of love, honor, respect, bliss, harmony, universal love, vibration, all that fun hippie shit. And that's why, we were taught to make fun of hippies. All those fucking hippies, they just smoke weed. No, they were fucking enlightened. There's a big difference between what we're consumed with today here and where the hippies were just, it's all love, man. Right? You guys remember the 70s. Anyway, so the goal is literally now to flip the script on exactly what you're talking about. Flip the script from ego mind to the subconscious mind, the spirit world. And what that means is this. Only one can be in power. Only one can be in control. It's either the ego mind doing its thoughts and its thoughts and its thoughts, and it creates pain. And that's its job, is to create pain and frustration and anxiety and depression if it focuses on the past or the future, or panic. There are so many levels of fuckery that come from the ego mind. And mastering yourself knowing who you are, figuring out that these thoughts, I mean, if you like think about it for a quick minute, even though I know we're talking about not thinking, but think about this for a quick second. Where are these thoughts from? Where are these thoughts? Who gave them to us? Like, where do they originate? And this is the process of understanding, like, holy shit, these are not even mine. That's, wow, this thought has great garlic, that garlic, this garlic, is it true? Is it not true? Well, we'll find out one day, but who gives a shit? So, but I do want to give you the power, the tools necessary to bring yourself into a peaceful state, because once you're in a peaceful state, in a state of God, in a state of happiness, in a state of content, in a state of self-power, now you can make different decisions because you're in a state of God. So here's what you do. Breathing is going to be your number one best friend. Breathing, there's a reason why we were made to breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale. Why do we have to breathe in and out? You guys ever stop to think about this? Why do we have to fill these lungs and then release? Why does that process, the in and out, have to happen? There's abundant oxygen. Like right now in this room, there's oxygen. Everywhere you guys are, there's oxygen. So why can't we just live in this bubble of oxygen like you jump in a swimming pool, right? You're just surrounded by water. You don't have to consume the water or do anything with the water. It's just there. You're just in a tub of water. So, but we're also in a tub of oxygen. Why the in and out? And this is for you guys to really understand and to figure out the why. There's so much physical benefit to the in and out. There's a heart rate that takes place from the moment we're born to the day it stops. This heart just keeps on pumping. It's pumping blood. It's pumping oxygen through the blood, right? So there's a beautiful sequence that happens inside of this beautiful creation because it's pretty badass. This is a really badass system. So understanding that the ego, its job is to create pain and chaos and frustration, overwhelm, anger, maybe. It brings on different emotions. That's its job. It's doing its job. But you're saying, I'm done with that. No more of that. I want to be happy and free and just always just feel amazing. Breathing is going to be the thing. So I'm going to now literally give you a breathing exercise that has gotten me through the years out of anxiety. 18, 19 years ago, I went through a really big section of my life where I had anxiety and I became suicidal. Depression was huge, and I didn't know what the fuck it was until I learned what it was. Obviously, doctors gave me pills, and I'm like, I don't want pills. I want to know how a powerful human being like me can feel like such a piece of shit. So once I realized that it's all because of this, I'm like, well, fuck, all I got to do is change that. Okay, we can do this. Breathing was the biggest component in my journey. And this exercise here is going to be one of the biggest of all the breathing exercises. It's called 888. I'm going to give it to you right now. So if you're in a place where you can shut your eyes for just a couple of minutes and we're going to do this together, I'll take you through the journey. Here's the goal. The goal is when we go anti something, when people are anti-cancer, anti-drugs, anti-communist, you're really feeding that thing with a lot of power. And that's why if you look at the cancer industry and you look at the drug industry, it's bigger than fucking ever. Why? Because we're taught to fight cancer. What you fight grows. Look at the war on drugs. Just say no to drugs. Really? We fed it like a motherfucker. So what I'm telling you now is don't be anti these thoughts. Don't look to get rid of the thoughts. Let them be where they are. Our goal is to empower the spirit. And that's now going to become your new best friend, the spirit place. And it's right here in your chest. It's around the heart. It's around the fourth chakra. And this is where we feel, right? Where do you feel love and happiness and giddy and ecstasy and all that fun stuff. It's all here. So here's what we're going to do. In this exercise, you're going to, and it's called 888 for a reason. You're going to inhale for 8, for a count of 8. You're going to hold for a count of 8, and then you're going to exhale for the last count of 8. So 8 in, 8 hold, 8 out. In the process of breathing, what you want to do now is focus on your chest. So you really want to take all your being, bring your attention inside the chest, and as a preliminary exercise until you get really good at this, just literally feel your chest, your clothes move, feel the movement, the in, the out and the in, the out and the in. So as we now, for example, let's inhale, and I'm going to count 8, and then we're going to hold, and then we're going to exhale. So I'm literally going to focus in the chest right here. So watch what happens as you focus here. Thoughts are going to want to come in. Oh, this is a weird exercise. Oh, this guy Andre's an idiot. Oh, fuck, this will never work. So what I'm telling you right now is, as those thoughts come in, because they will come in, don't look to push them away. Don't look to get rid of them. Just all you got to do is come back to center, because you can only focus on one thing at a time. So if we focus on, oh, get away from me, cancer. Oh, go away, drugs. Oh, go away, bad thought. Then we're asking that thing to grow. So what I'm suggesting is come back to center. It's really, really simple. Just leave it there. This thought of the car, the garlic came up. Okay, cool. How cute. Boom. I'm coming back to center. I'm coming back to God. I'm coming back to God. I'm coming back to God. So let's do this. So we're going to inhale for 8. Here we go. I can't inhale and count at the same time. All right. So you guys do it. So let's go. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you focused on the subconscious mind, the spirit, the fourth chakra, the heart center, as you focus here, you're now, because where you focus, the energy grows. So as you're loving yourself, and this is just a simple little meditation, breathing exercise listen, I'm telling you guys, this right here can change your whole fucking life. And I'm not exaggerating. If you do this thing, so like right now, I recommend doing this exact what we just did here 12 times. Do this 12 times. It'll take whatever, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, whatever it is. But do it a few times a day. Do it in the morning. Do it whenever you feel like you're overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like you're about to get a little jittery or too much information coming in. Look, you can just close your eyes and breathe. Nobody needs to know what the fuck you're doing, right? And if you can't close your eyes, just pretend you're looking at the computer screen. Let's say you're at the office and you can't show people that you're meditating. Stare into a point. Like right now, I'm picking a spot on the computer screen. I'm staring at it, and I could literally just go for it, right? Like I'm looking here, but my focus is in my chest, my love, all that beautiful stuff, and I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to... And you can do this anywhere in the world, and you'll see your whole being calm. Everything will change. Everything will become more powerful. See, when you're up here, you're scattered because it's too many thoughts, and that's why we're weak. When we're up here, we are weak. When we're in here, we are powerful. And this exact information we can find in Dr. David Hawkins' book, Power versus Force. Power is in here. Force is here. So anything that we do with our head, we force. And the outcome of force is most of the time negative. When we do things from love, from the God center, then we get that return on that investment. So the biggest thing I can tell you, great point, great question. Stay in here. Don't go here. Stay in here. I just gave you a breathing exercise of 8-8-8. Inhale 8, hold 8, exhale 8. Do this a few times a day, 12 times each. Teach your kids, do it together, hold hands. It might seem a little hippie, but guess what? The hippies were fucking happy. I hope I answered you. I can give you more at a next session. Stephen, you have a question. You're saying, my wife asked me if the Matrix is real. I told her it's the spirit realm and we are in the devil's playground. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's a really good answer. It's the spirit realm. Yeah, so this whole thing is a matrix, because like this last weekend at this event, an astronaut that I'm looking to get on the show because I want to ask him about the fake shit out there. Anyway, but somebody asked him, are aliens real? And he said, yes, they're aliens. My point is, we know so little about what this thing is. Like even the space between my two hands, what is it? Like literally, what is it? Yeah, I don't see anything, but I'm only able to see what we're programmed to be able to see. But are there different levels that can see more? And the answer is yes. Are there heightened beings that can see more? So in this ether, this matrix, it's all one web of stuff. And the stuff happens to be, funny enough, sound. That's why universe means one sound. So all of this really relates to a sound, music. There's a musical tone that holds together this whole fabric that we know as existence. So great point that it's the spirit realm and we are in the devil's playground. See, you don't need me. But listen, here's what's cool. If it works, keep doing it. And that's the only thing I've ever known is what I found to work, I kept doing it. What didn't work, I didn't focus on it. Why the fuck isn't this working? This was supposed to work. I spent $10,000. Bullshit. Find what works fast. Go through all the things that don't work. Leave them behind. Get to the ones that work, because your goal is to be what? To be happy and free. You want to feel happy and free regardless of what's happening in your life, in the world. You want to wake up happy and feel free. We all do. So this is the goal for everything we're talking about, because at the end of the day, is there shit out there? Yeah. But what you focus on is up to you. So we talked about boundaries, trying to set boundaries, and trying never works because it's fake, it's false, it doesn't exist. So when you are, hi, Becky King out of North Carolina. We actually talked about North Carolina today, of going out there next week. We shall see. So boundaries, they have to be so fucking set in stone that nothing and no one can touch that boundary. That's just a boundary. And you just don't cross it. Like my wife and I, a boundary for us is we don't cheat. Okay, well, that's a boundary. You cross that, you're fucked. So when boundaries are 100% set in place and the people around you know that this is it, game over. This is just it. And there's no leniency. Then you got to be careful, person that asked this question. Be very careful. Don't give in to the drama of the past and the bullshit that they try to put upon you, remind you of. You can't. You have a boundary now. So commit is my point. And then, of course, we talked about how to calm the mind. And breathing is going to be your best friend. Go sit outside. Go to the beach. Just go. Make you a priority. And that's in my little world of what I do in coaching and all this fun stuff, making you a priority and loving yourself is what's missing in this world. We're so occupied and we're so told that we have to look like the other people online. We have to have so many social media likes and reviews, and we got to look like that actor and that actress, and I'm too fat and I'm too skinny and my beard and my hair. And it's like every turn tells us we're not enough and we're not good enough and we're not pretty enough and we're not skinny enough. So we're battling daily this reminder that you're a piece of shit, but meanwhile, I got to stay happy and free and treat my family with love and abundance. How? So this is how. You have to make you first. You have to find a way to where you start loving yourself by breathing, by telling yourself how amazing you are, by literally setting up time, just like you have toilet time or shower time or coffee time, or if you work out, great. You got to start working out the inside. This is the point here for both situations, both topics today. You have to start working out the inside. If you don't work out the inside, the outside will catch up one day and it's not going to feel good. Cool beans. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Ground, go barefoot in the grass. Absolutely. Connect to earth. Connect to earth. There's a reason why they made shoes for us to separate us from Mother Earth. But yes, go barefoot on sand, beach, earth, dirt, like literally the vibration is needed for the body. Go hug a tree. There's actual information in trees. We're supposed to hug them, but we're told, oh, it's for the hippies. It's for the crazy people. So everything that we've been taught, flip it around, go do it, because it happens to be real and true. All right. Love you guys. I will see you next week. Love you guys. See you next week. Thank you for the questions. You rock. Bye-bye.